Welcome to question 4 of the 2009 Mathematical Methods Exam 1. In this video we will be looking at the solution and examination advice for this question. A reminder that this video is in no way endorsed by VCAA. So for question 4 we're asked to solve the equation tan of 2x equals root 3 for the following domain. So the first thing we're going to do is calculate the period of this function. And for a tan graph we know that's equal to pi divided by n, where n is the number multiplying the x, so in this case n equals 2. So the period is equal to pi divided by 2. Next we're going to inspect this value to find out the exact value and what angles correspond to that on the unit circle. So if we draw a quick unit circle, so we know for the tangent function the exact value of root 3 is somewhere up here, and that we need an angle of pi on 3 to reach that value. So that's the exact value of root 3 up there. We also know we'll get the same exact value in this quadrant down here. So keeping all of that in mind, we know that 2x, the part inside the trig function, must equal pi on 3 or pi plus pi on 3. So therefore we know that 2x must equal pi on 3, or pi plus pi on 3 is 4 pi on 3. And now we need to get x by itself rather than having 2x, so we need to divide everything by 2. But another way of thinking about that is to multiply everything by a half. And multiplying fractions by other fractions is just easier than doing the division. So therefore we'd say that x is equal to, and we'd get pi over 6, and we'd have 4 pi over 6. Next we need to check if they are all the solutions we're expecting within our domain. So we can add or subtract periods onto these to find more solutions, and the period is pi on 2, which can be written as 3 pi on 6. So if we take this and we subtract 3 pi on 6, we would get another potential solution of minus 2 pi on 6. Similarly, if we added 3 pi on 6 onto this solution, another potential solution would be 7 pi on 6. However, if we have a look at the domain where we're expected to find solutions, you can see that minus 2 pi on 6 is minus pi on 3, which is smaller than negative pi on 4, so that's outside the domain. And you can also see that 3 pi on 4, so 4 pi on 6 will be smaller than that, however 7 pi on 6 will be larger than that, so that is also outside of the domain. So therefore the only solutions are x is equal to pi on 6, and we have 2 pi on 3 when we simplify that second fraction. So they are the two answers for this question. So from the examiner's report we can see that 41% of students received full marks for this question, and that most students correctly chose the initial angle, so that was the pi on 3, but went on to have problems dividing by 2. So as stated on the previous slide, instead of dividing by 2, most of the time it's easier to think by multiplying by a half or multiplying by the reciprocal of whatever you're trying to divide by. The other challenge for students was selecting the appropriate values over the set domain, and we just needed to do that by inspecting what values were inside and outside the domain that was given.